right. Hello, everyone, to the final Collab Lab meetup. Woo, you all made it. Yay. For the past, what, 8 weeks, right? Guys started not knowing each other and then now working together and created this, awesome project that you will all be demoing in a few seconds. So before I pass the mic, Viet, did you want to say anything before they start their demo?
I just like to say that, yeah, since I've been kind of like away for a little while, coming back and seeing the face that the styling and the face that you've put onto the app, I was like really not surprised, but I was just like really impressed by the work that you've all done over the past couple of weeks. So great job, everybody, and I'm looking forward to the demo.
Woohoo! And then before I pass the demo start, Andrew, would you like to say anything before they start?
Oh no, I just I'm eager to see it. I haven't looked at the app, in weeks. So yeah, I'm excited to see what y'all came up with.
All right, awesome. So who will be in charge of today's demo? I don't know who's
Weston's gonna screen share, and then we each have a little part to play. So
awesome. All right, then take it away.
Hey, everybody. This is HoneyDo, brought to you by Arniqua, Weston, Tina, and Mariah. So, have y'all ever sent your partner or a friend to the store and they just don't know what to buy? Well, that's why we created HoneyDo, so they know what to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Should we create a new list or join an existing list? Let's go ahead and create a new list. We don't have one. Well, can we get it started? Weston, can we click that plus? All right, let's see. Well, today is the Civil War, so we got to get stuff for tailgating. So can we have some like hot dogs? We need that like soon. We need it ASAP, Rocky. All right, let's add some buns. And we're probably going to need some kind of drinks. Let's just keep it PG. Can we get a soda on there? Perfect. All right, so we can see we got buns, hot dogs, and soda. What else do you guys think we need? Let's see. Maybe some ice? Well, let's add one more thing.
So I say stay hydrated, water too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, let's get some water on there. You're right. You should be electrolytes. Perfect. All right, so as you can see, everything got added to our soon because we're needing that relatively soon. But what about for the day after? Probably some Advil. And more water. None. Perfect. All right. That added to our kind of soon list. And what do we need not soon? Toothpaste. Good call. All right, awesome. So you can see that everything got added. Perfect. Let's see. We can close that out. If I forgot that I added something, we can go ahead and search for it. I know you can see it all, but for demo purposes, let's look up our toothpaste or soda. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. And what happens if we check it? Oh, it moves over to purchase. Perfect. All our tailgate's coming together. And you know what? I'm going to go hard today. Let's remove the electrolytes. I don't want them. I don't want them. Yes. Yeah, I don't want it. Perfect. And that gets deleted. And can we go back to our list? Yeah. All right. I think that's about it, right?
One more thing, we might dump this list and go and look at the my test list just to see all of it.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and see that. You can go home. Perfect. So you can see there are overdue items, so things that we need to buy soon, or like are past due, or soon, kind of soon, and inactive.
I got puppies this morning, so that's why it's checked.
Oh,
Oh,
congratulations. Perfect. And this is HoneyDo, our smart shopping list.
Amazing. I love that. That like I put it in the chat, but the motivation for the original app. So I was teaching at PDX Code Guild, and we did a group project, and we were brainstorming ideas. And there was this guy like, yeah, I go to the store. My wife like, we need this thing, and like I can never remember. And so he actually had the original idea for the app, and that's why you all built this.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I forgot. Can you go back down to our inactive real quick, Weston, for me? Can you scroll down? Our inactive, that's our honey don't. So don't buy that. Honey don't buy a shirt.
Nice.
Woohoo! Good job, everyone. I really like the play on words on the honeydew, and I like how you guys use the honeydew photo for the do part. So I enjoy it. It's a really cool app, and I really like how you put the ad and the list into one instead of toggling back and forth. So really cool. Love it. How does everyone feel? I mean, 8 weeks to put together HoneyDo, which came out amazing. It didn't come out anything weird or whatnot, but I love it. I really like the color. I really like just the simplicity and then the styling. I'm a sucker for like paper look, so I like how each section has that paper not feel, but the look to it. So, oh, is anybody else going to? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut anybody off. Anybody else demoing other stuff? There's more to it? No?
We don't have any more to demo in the app itself. We do have the Figma pulled up and the code pulled up in case we want to talk through that.
I say go for it. If you guys are comfortable. If you all are comfortable going through that, don't let me stop you. I got a little too excited.
Tina, do you want to talk through the Figma board, or do you want me to?
Yeah, so I thought that you were going to talk about functionality changes, and I was going to do styling. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So you want me to start with the styling and then you'll do the functionality after?
Sure. Either way.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. So we decided, we had a discussion about where to begin with the styling and what approach to take, and definitely like some back and forth of the pros and cons of just going with a straight CSS approach versus using a library. And we did end up choosing to use a library, Material UI. We thought that would really support like consistency across the app, and that it might facilitate certain things. For me, I've never used it before. I think some of us had more experience, some of us had less with Material UI, so there's definitely a learning curve there. But that was one of the first decisions that we made, was to use that. And then as far as the actual design, we actually began with some mood boarding on Miro, and then landed on the design that you're looking at now in Figma. And you can see the first iteration that was crossed out, and then moved over toward the one that's closer to what we see now. Came up with the HoneyDo concept, and that was something that I think Weston had that idea like weeks ago, or way earlier than the discussion, and it just kind of developed from there. You can see we started off with the HoneyDo just spelled traditionally, and then that evolved into the more creative spelling of honeydew, and then the O turned into the melon shape, and then the B was added. So there's there was iteration after iteration with just the design in and of itself. And we did decide to use a mobile first approach. We had some discussion about how to make this a little bit more visually appealing on a larger screen. It's not something that we got to in the time that we had, but we do kind of recognize that it appears on a large screen as just sort of a narrow strip, as if it was designed for mobile. And that's because it was. So we think it looks pretty good on a mobile screen, but we definitely still have some work to do to make it proportionate on a larger screen. So from our wireframes, we then had to import or install Material UI and import that into our various files. And so can we jump into the code for a second, Weston? I just wanted to share a couple of the things. One was the theme file, theme.js. So one of the things that I thought was cool about Material that I learned was that you can create this theme and then you can apply like your colors for your brand across your entire app. So you select your colors, you can select, fonts and the button style. So I think that this theme file, we could build out a lot more over time, but this gave us, kind of some standards to work from. So that was a really cool thing about Material UI. And then a couple of the components that I think really worked effectively and were very simple to implement were the form control, which are in add item. So that really just kind of tidied up the add item form, made that look nice and clean. We also used a MUI component called paper, and that kind of made each little section, as well as the form itself, I think, pop out, give it a little bit of a three-dimensional look and just a visually, aesthetically more appealing, cleaner, more organized look. Let's see what else. We have the icon button in the list item that Mariah had demoed. We used to have this kind of big, ugly, just delete item, and then turning that into the icon button with the little X just made it a little bit cleaner, more elegant. And then of course, our nav bar, which is not an actual functional nav bar, there's nothing to click on it at the top. So we're really calling that now a banner, but the banner that has the cute little bee on it was another big styling element. Definitely a learning curve with MUI again. And so there's areas in the code where you'll see us reverting to class names and putting things into the CSS file. I think that's like, at least for me, speaking from my own perspective in the code that I wrote, an area for improvement is going back and looking at, okay, well, where is there a potential application for an MUI component that I just didn't know existed, and can we, work that in and refactor to clean up that code. So there's definitely like lots of other areas, lots of other implementations, but I will stop there and pass it off to Weston so he can talk about some of the functionality changes that we implemented in the last couple of weeks.
Thanks, Tina. Well, I think as has already been mentioned, there were a lot of changes made over the last couple of weeks. A lot of code changed. I think if we have some more time, it would be great to go back and refactor a bit. But two functionality changes that we can touch on real quick are the nesting of the add item. So a number of things happened for that. We not only put it within the list component, but we had to go and make sure that we cleaned up all of the code that removed it as a view, because originally it was a view rather than or acted as a view rather than a component. But if you remember, I guess we didn't demo this, but if you accidentally go to the list page when there is not a token active, we display one thing, and then otherwise we see a button rendered, which is that little add button, which we grouped with the search bar functionality just to keep it streamlined. And then we just have a piece of state, and if we set that to true, that we're adding an item, then it expands that component in line within that list component. So that's what you're seeing here. And then otherwise, and you can see there's a that's in the form of a ternary statement here. When that's active, we show the add item, which also hides the search bar and add item, just so there's less clutter and the user has fewer things to focus on. And then when the add item is set to false, then we go back to seeing our search bar and add item button. And then another piece of code that I think we can quickly share was we decided that we wanted, initially we had a lot of alerts popping up, and we got some feedback that doesn't feel very good and feels a little clunky. We wanted there to be one consolidated place where users went for looking at the alert. So we originally put it in one of the components, and then realized that we wanted multiple components to be able to access that. So we ended up putting that in, we ended up moving it all the way up to the app level. So we created a function here, a small piece of state called alert and set alert. And this is a MUI component that takes a message and a severity. And so we have our create alert function here, which sets the alert. And then it also has a set timeout so that it's not stuck showing there, but it gets hidden after 5 seconds. And then that create alert function is what we're passing throughout the app from here. So we pass it to home, because if a user accidentally typed in an invalid list name, they'll receive feedback that that's incorrect. And then we also pass it down to our list, where we're using it to confirm the deletion of items or the successful adding of an item or any errors. So that was something that was important, just to clean things up for us. Like I said, lots of amazing work over the last couple of weeks and lots of changes made, but those were 2 functionality items we wanted to highlight. Anything else that anyone else wanted to add to that?
I just wanted to add one other feature that I didn't get to add that I really wanted to, and I really still hope to, was the fuzzy search for the filter items. So at one point we worked on the functionality for, filtering, which Mariah and Weston demoed for us, where you search for an item in the list. And so if a user, it's case insensitive, and if a user has additional spaces or characters, non-alphanumeric characters, it will successfully find that item in the list. However, if it's just misspelled by 1 letter, or if it's plural instead of singular or something like that, it won't recognize it as a duplicate item or as that item on the list. So we had a discussion about this in one of our syncs a few weeks ago, and the mentors talked about this idea of a fuzzy search that you can use to make those matches. And so I did start going down that path, exploring fuzzy searching, and found libraries, something called Fuse.js that you can use for that. And it just didn't, I just didn't get it accomplished in time for today. But I feel like that's something that I still want to see through to the end at some point, if we do continue working on this after the fact.
Nice. Yeah, and the way it's implemented, I mean, you could even pull it out and have a pretty complicated function that you then pass into this this filter method, that kind of takes care of returning the right results. But yeah, that's a good idea. Very cool. Nice job. I love the branding. It's super cute, and it's the play on words and everything. It's yeah, it's really, really fantastic. Great work, y'all. And just nice work, like great demo, working together as a team on the demo. Arnico, I'm sorry you're not feeling well and couldn't participate, but it's nice of you to be here for moral support. But yeah, great job. Great job, mentors too. You've been so good over the last 8 weeks with your team. I'm sorry Jen couldn't be here, but she's amazing too. So yeah, good job.
Hey, thanks y'all. Can I ask you all a question? real quick. If there is maybe one or two things you want to continue, if you are to continue working on this project, what are one or two things that you want to add to it, or maybe fix, or yeah.
One issue that we identified as part of our little sprint here at the end, actually the only one that we didn't get to, was the uncheck functionality, which is kind of silly because I think it is very few lines of code and would be easy to do, but I think we all agreed that we really wanted to focus on styling and get that dialed in too. So that's one thing.
Yeah, there's definitely only so much you can fit into the 2 weeks that you had.
Yeah, and I think Tina briefly mentioned it already, but also just making it responsive for web design as well, along with the mobile design.
Yeah, I think I made a comment on one of the PRs that I think with the amount of time that you had, sticking to a view was probably the best thing to do, because when I've worked with designers in the past, we've had mobile, tablet, and desktop views, and they were depending on the layout that changed significantly. So it's like, you can think of it as like two to three times the amount of work to style for per view. How about you, Tina? Is there something that you wanted to add to the project?
Mine definitely the fuzzy search thing. Obviously, I already talked about that.
Yeah.
One other thing that came up in our discussion that I think we weren't super fond of is the way the number appears. And actually, I don't know if I'm looking at the same version that was demoed, but do we still have the number in parentheses showing up next to? I think we did, right? And it just looks a little like, I don't know, unpolished. So figuring out a different way to display that number or have an indication of how many items are in there without just this big old bold number in parentheses. That was one thing. And then we also had, at one point, we had these color-coded badges for the item status, whether it was soon, kind of soon, not soon, whatever. And that was kind of like too much to have one for each individual item. But having a little bit of color coding to go along with the category, we talked about maybe adding a subtle color indicator to differentiate one category from another. So those would be a couple of small things.
Yeah, I actually like the when I saw the numbers. Maybe it could have been styled differently, but I liked having the numbers to show how many items were in each category. And I think what you did to kind of separate them out, the soon, not too soon, and kind of soon categories that would worked really well. But yeah, and these styling things are something that you can always add styling. You can always kind of find things that you want to tweak, and that's kind of the tough thing about getting your MVP out, in a sense, right? It's like, what do we need to do to kind of make this something that's presentable, and these are things that you can definitely add on later. But overall, this the look and the functionality, and I don't know who designed the banner, or if that was a group effort, but just the flight path of the B and everything, and just having it spell it is that's on purpose, right? The N and the E that in the flight path. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't notice that.
When you look at the banner, it looks like the flight path it spells out N and E at the end, so it looks like honey done as well.
Oh, no way.
That was not.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It makes me want to go back and tweak it.
Can we
I
look at that real
I was
quick?
so sure that was on purpose too.
Yeah, I thought that was too.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So our Nikwa,
Yeah, honey
gotta give
done.
big shout out to our Nikwa, because she did all of the design for the homepage, and then she and I worked on the nav or the banner together, but she was really the push there. And she also just has a very good design eye, and had a lot of comments that were like, this is just a nit, but they were very welcome, because she spotted things that just needed to be adjusted, and really appreciated that. So huge shout out to our Nikwa on that. will change the path of the flight P, or the flight path.
Nice. Super cool. I'm probably gonna drop so you all can do your retro. Great work. So proud of all of you for all the work you put in over the last 8 weeks. And I think everyone is doing Career Lab, right? Is that true? Okay, so I will see you over the course of that. But yeah, just great job. Like I said, last meeting, if we're not already connected on LinkedIn and things, please let's make sure that that happens so that I can, help you be a reference or introduce, make introductions, all those kinds of things, help you get into those jobs. So, but yeah, great work, mentors too, and take care. Yeah, I'll see you in Career Lab.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
stopping
Thank
by,
you,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Good job, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, if that was like a great non-intentional flight path of the bee.
We're all like, what?
Good eye.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Yeah.
didn't even recognize. I was like, what is
Mm-mm.
Viet talking about? So I was like, what? But then now that you pointed out, like, oh, I see it. I see it, and I can't believe I missed it.
If
So
I would have known, I would have slipped that into the demo as well. Like check, once it's purchased, like honey done.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh, all right. You all made it. 8 weeks in, finished MVP of the HoneyDo app. And like Viet said, you are more than welcome to continue with this, and it is up to you all if you want to do another demo. I feel like Andrew would probably be more than happy to see it again, to see the MVP 2.0 of HoneyDo or Honey Done. And but that's definitely up to you, no pressure. And if you have the time and the bandwidth, right? And if you want to keep on going with it, the app is yours. So do whatever you want to do with it. Before I go to our retro, any other last thoughts, concerns? I shouldn't say concerns, it's towards the end. Any, I don't know, last say before we do move on to that retro board?
Just on that note, Yolanda, of if we do take it beyond this stage, so we've had this process, right, that we've followed of having our issues, having our weekly cycle, and then going through the two peer reviews and one mentor review. So obviously we don't expect mentors to continue to do that with us, but if we are going to be working on it, is it up to us then to like figure out what that process is and the reviews, because like it's by default it's going to require 3 reviews, right, for anything to merge.
We can take that off.
Exactly. Okay.
So that it becomes a little bit more of a, I mean, yeah, so we can take that restriction off, and maybe just one reviewer would be enough to merge, or just take the restriction off altogether. But yeah, I don't remember how my group did it in the end. I know that we did some extra work afterwards, and there was still one of the mentors was helping us review it. So yeah.
Thanks.
But we can definitely figure that out and figure that out for later on to how you want to handle that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, well, just take baby steps. I think for my group, we didn't really continue after that, but I think one of our mentors said if we want to continue on our own, to improve it by ourselves, we are more than, we can do that too. But just like we could definitely touch base in the Slack and then see, to go from there. So I don't know. We'll take it day by day. If you want a mentor review, I don't see any issue with that. And we'll just kind of go from there. Everybody's been very flexible anyway, so we're kind of going with the flow of how things go. So, but if you do continue with the HoneyDo app, I do want to see like a new 2.0 version of what you all going to create from here on. So it's really exciting, especially if you want to start implementing that fuzzy search and polishing up some stuff here and there. So, but yeah. Other than that, any other questions or thoughts? Okay, so I will share my screen with the retro. Let's see. Let me know if you can see the board. Are you okay?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. I'm on an external monitor, so it might look tiny for you guys. Hold on just a second. How's that Zoom? Okay? That
That
works
looks
for
good.
everyone?
Good.
Okay. So this is our final retro. What went well? I don't think well, if you want to, you could fill in the things to improve and your action items and then give a shout out. So I don't have like a timer. Viet, what do you use for your browser timer? Do you have a
I
preference?
go to Chrome and type in a timer.
Oh.
Google usually has one that'll just pop up in the search itself.
In the search, because I'm using Firefox. I wonder if there's like a browser
I think
timer.
DuckDuckGo might also.
That's Chrome. I just need like
Yeah, I think any of those would work. The online timer or
which one? Oh, online timer. There it is. Okay. How many minutes do you all want to work on this board? Is 5 pretty good, or is that too long? 2?
I would say set it at 5, and then if we're done, we'll kind of shorten that.
Okay. I think that's it. Oh, you know what? I am screen sharing my browser, not my, hold on. Let me just do my monitor. Oh gosh, my monitor. Sorry, you all. It's a hot mess. I was not expecting to do this, but all right. Okay. You should see my monitor now. My whole thing with my
Yep.
mountains of folder. All right. So I'll just set this at the side so you guys can still see that timer. All right. So I have it for 5. And we'll just start from there and then go ahead and start filling out the board. And then we'll just, if you guys need more time, let me know, and I could definitely add more time. All right. All right, we got like 50 seconds left. Did y'all need some more time?
Maybe another minute.
Another minute. Okay.
Sure.
All right, we've got 3 seconds left. And we could always add as we go through the board. Okay. Let's see. I will just kind of read through each category and then and kind of go from there. Is that okay with everyone? Just all right. So I'm gonna start with the what went well category. So we have here, as always, our communication with each other. I felt that everyone was super responsive to the Slack messages. Mariah. And then for me, it's like, I think it's really cool that everyone is using that new library. I know some of you may have used it and it's new to others, but just, taking a chance using a new library like Material UI, just rocking it and showcasing the MVP of HoneyDo today. So good job, everyone. Hashtag teamwork. Love that, Mariah. And then Tina said, as a team, we were able to make decisions and move the process forward. And then also, and then what I wrote is like team working through even with a limited time due to Thanksgiving holiday. So I know we said the last 2 weeks, but it's kind of, if you think about it, like a week and a half because of that holiday. It, collided with that, but you guys rocked it and showed a really awesome demo. So good job, everyone, for that. Things to improve. Anyone want to add that? I know we're not going to do anything after today, but if you want your team to continue on with this project, you could definitely add more things to improve if you want. And then action items, I wrote down if there's a possibility of HoneyDo 2.0, maybe, perhaps, just putting it out there. And then shout out section. Let's go from the top. So Mariah put down at Arniqua for killing it on the homepage design. I really do like it. I really like the color of the whole green. I don't know why, but it blended real well together. So good job on that. And Tina wrote down Weston and Arniqua for nailing the overall branding and design. So good job on that. And then I wrote down for the whole team, TCL-47 for completing the HoneyDo app. So woot woot. Weston wrote down mentors for being consistently amazing, great support and in-depth explanations throughout, welcoming, encouraging, and fun environment while pushing us. Thanks, with heart. Oh, thanks, Weston. And Mariah put down Tina for tackling Material UI and becoming an absolute boss at it. Look at that. Tina, this was your first time working with Material UI, right? Okay.
Yeah, I
Cool.
just learned it this week.
Look at that, and being a boss at it. Touche, touche. So Viet put down to TCL-47. It's been amazing to watch you all come together as a team to create HoneyDo. Proud of each and every one of you. I agree. Very, very proud of y'all. And then we have here the team, Mariah, Tina, and Weston, for carrying the heavy load of finishing out the MVP and delivering a stellar demo. And I'm thinking that came from Arniqua. And Arniqua, thank you for being here for that moral support too. And then Viet put down, Tina, your confidence has grown so much along the way. I agree. I agree. And then also Viet wrote down Weston for being so vocal with and being curious. And then at Weston for taking the lead the past 2 weeks and helping push us to the finish line. He became our unofficial project manager and team lead. Look at that. And then I put down for everyone to work together as a whole for the last 2 weeks, trying new things, communicating, and planning to making it happen for the demo. And then Weston wrote down Arniqua for her amazing work on the home and banner design. You have a great eye. You are rocking it with Figma, especially for getting started with it. And I also admire that you consistently voice your opinion and push for things that are important to you with a nice star. That's right, Arniqua. How, I know you can't speak, but one of these days I want to hear like your experience with Figma, because I struggle with Figma, and I remember that Figma was not your jam like what, 2 weeks ago. So I really like that that you tried something new and worked with it. And then Tina wrote down, Jen saved me from myself and my messed up local main. That is the whole part of Collab, right? A safe place to try new things, make mistakes, and learn from them. And that's what us here mentors are here to help guide you. And then at Mariah for the highly entertaining demo walkthrough, plus bonus points for including hashtag HoneyDo. I do like that. Nice little touch right there. And then Viet wrote down Arniqua, the styling and branding behind the theme of HoneyDo, as well as a creativity in your code. And then Weston wrote down Mariah for being a great presenter and all-around encouraging team member. Also for continuing to be the queen of clean code. Very nice. And Viet wrote down, Mariah, I'm blown away by how technically sound your code is and the ability to talk about the path and how you come up with the solutions. And Tina wrote down, Mariah, for kicking us off today and giving our demo with humor. Very nice. I know I chuckled here and there too, so I really enjoyed the demo as well. And then Mariah wrote down Weston for always being calm and confident and our go-to question guy. And then Weston wrote down, excuse me, Tina for always being curious and diving deep to learn what is going under the hood and advocating for the best solution. Always appreciate how you research and voice your opinion, with an amazing star right there. And then Viet put down Yolanda and Jen. It's been so much fun working with you two, mentoring the team. Man, I dropped the ball on that one. You too, Viet, thank you for helping me. I had a lot of questions throughout this process as well. So Jen and Viet, thank you so much for guiding me. This was my very first time being a mentor. So I am very, very lucky and happy that I was paired up with you and with TCL-47. So I got a knock on wood. It's been going very well, and I really enjoyed my process here and the whole experience. I think I covered. I kind of went by quickly because we got 10 minutes left. But other than that, I think that's it with the retro. Any last squeeze in of comments, shout outs? What went well?
Just a quick question. So Yolanda, Viet, and Jen, had you all previously worked together, or was this like you came together as a team in the same way that we all came together as a team?
Yeah, we did not know each other before starting as mentors.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
I mean, kind of similar. I think kind of similar. We had like a mentor orientation, and that's kind of when we met. I actually don't remember how the beginning of like the program. So,
yeah,
but I think
that was
we
the first
all
time,
three of us went through and did Collab Lab before. So that definitely helped a lot. I think in the past, some of the mentors were just kind of volunteers from Zapier or context of Andrews and Stacy's. So yeah.
I agree. I
I-
think that helped out having that TCL background, the Collab Lab,
Mhm.
before we all met up as mentors. But yeah, it was my first time working with Jen and Viet. Very nervous, but I think that's with everybody, right? You're meeting somebody for the first time. You're like, okay, how am I gonna how are we gonna work together? Can I do this? This is terrifying. It's so scary. I don't want to let anyone down. That was like a lot of things going before, meeting you all, and then during the process too. I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I'm, saying the right things, right? I don't want to lead you to a different path or, say the wrong thing. So I was always doubting myself and saying, okay, I don't, and then I always have to ask like Jen and VS, like, I think that's, am I thinking this correctly? So, yeah, but I had a lot of fun. So I hope you all had fun too, working together in this TCL. And this, like I said, the Slack channel will always be there. So if you want to put in a message in the Slack, you're more than welcome to chit chat in there as well. But yeah, sorry to cut you off yet. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was also just wondering what that. So it sounds like you all are doing Career Lab, which I'm really happy to hear about. And just wondering what your plans are for afterwards. Yeah, let's start. Let's start with Tina. What are you up to, I guess, after Career Lab and beyond that?
So my main focus right now is finishing my bootcamp program. I have kind of just like a few more units to do and then a final capstone project. So yeah, it'll kind of like dovetail really nicely, I think, with Career Lab. Which, does everybody else have? I haven't gotten anything directly about Career Lab, I don't think, in a while, but I have things popping up on my calendar, and one of them is an orientation tomorrow morning. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's correct. We have our first kickoff tomorrow. Sorry, I had to look at my calendar at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yep.
Perfect.
So,
okay, I did see that on my calendar, but then I didn't see anything like a direct message in Slack about like, hey, this is happening. So I wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything. Thank you.
Now let's go kind of like left to right here. And Weston, what are you up to?
Well, yeah, this has been an amazing experience. I'm gonna miss having this as a weekly part of the week. I'm still working in my job as an architect, so I'll be carrying on with that, but I am actively job searching and will be continuing to looking forward to doing HoneyDo Part 2. We'll probably work on some other tinkering side projects and focusing on algorithm and interview prep right now.
Cool. How about you, Mariah?
Yeah, so I am also wrapping up my contract work, and I'm just job searching as well and hoping to brush up on some technical interview stuff because I feel like that is a weak point for me. But yeah, and hopefully, yeah, working on HoneyDo 2.0.
Nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Or I just wanted to say, Arniqua, if you wanted to type something in or just kind of give us an update later in Slack, feel free to do so. Yeah, but I do think like the experience with Career Lab, this is like super helpful with interviewing and oh, cool. Sorry, that was reaction to Arniqua's. That's amazing.
oh, I saw Upstatement. Yeah, I saw them the job post like a few months back. So congratulations, Arniqua. Let us know how it goes because I know they do it once in a while. They take in like early career developers for Upstatement, and it seems like a really cool company. So yeah, sorry, didn't mean to go off of course.
No, I think that trumps anything that I had to say. But yeah, Career Lab is awesome, and I think if you are just kind of like feel like you need help or just like practice more, I think practice more than anything else, interviewing and doing both like the verbal part of interviewing and also the technical exercises that you might see. I think it's like really good practice to kind of get used to doing that.
But yeah, also hit us up if you want to get that practice, right? It doesn't have to end with Career Lab. The mentors are always in the Slack. So if you kind of was like, hey, I need a little brush up on some either behavioral or technical interview, do you have time? I'm more than happy to like hop on a call and and kind of do a mock interview, or just kind of go through what your game plan is for that future interview. So I say, more practice, kind of shake out the nerves. But enjoy Career Lab. I had a lot of fun going through it. I think it's a really cool addition to Collab Lab. There's a lot of constant changing, so just be aware of that. I think for me, I was so used to weekly sync. So in my mind, I was stuck in that 1 week, like, oh, end of the week, I'll do this. But it's kind of like LinkedIn, get ready for that behavioral interview, and then take home assignment. And it's like, oh, wait, it's already due. Oh, it's like right around the corner. So just keep in mind of that. It's a lot faster paced than what we've been dealing with the past 8 weeks. Arnico wrote down, what should we expect with Career Lab? Just the same old, like what everyone's been doing with Collab Lab. It's very chill. I think.
Yeah, I'm not so I can share like my experience going through it. There was definitely like different phases of the interview process, right? So it's like you will do like a behavioral interview, and that's very much just like, hey, learn to comfortably talk about yourself. And that's like one of the things I have like a hard time doing, is like talking about myself. It's like I don't want to sound like arrogant or anything, but you are trying to sell yourself. So that's like part of the process. Like, how do you sell yourself to a potential employer? There will be a real technical interview with somebody. So you'll sit down with one of the mentors and actually go through like what a technical interview looks like, and then the technical interview itself. I think there was a video of one or a mock interview with Andrew and somebody else, one of the other mentors, where they were interviewing Andrew, which was really interesting to see, like what that would look like between kind of two more senior level engineers, interviewing each other. But yeah, it is like very much what a real interview would look like when you're going through, going through the job search.
Yeah, exactly what Viet said. So it's you'll see like the mentors interviewing each other. There's like a demo of that. And then also we'll teach you how to spruce up your LinkedIn profile page with the appropriate, the layout. And I think we have there's a recruiter that's coming with a Q&A. Let's see. I don't know if this time we're going to have a financial. Yes, we do. So, and then there's going to be a talk about navigating finances during a career change. I thought that was pretty cool. I think when I did the Career Lab, that was the first time they implemented that, where someone came over with a financial background and then kind of explained like, hey, if you're getting this much money, this is kind of like what you should expect, and if you need any help or ask any questions, you could ask during that talk. So I thought that was pretty helpful, because I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's a big change, right, from one to another. So just kind of being financially aware is very helpful as well. Sorry, I just looked at the time. I know we are a minute over, but this is the last one, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like a little.
Also, if you have any questions, like please put them into the Slack channel about, if you want to go through your contract or anything, like I would definitely do that with you. If you want to talk about like salary ranges, whatever, just any questions you have. But like the one major thing that I want to stress to you all is like, don't undervalue yourselves. Like if you, yeah, I think I definitely did that with my first job offer, which I thankfully turned down. Because like I was just tired and really wanted to accept a job, and I was tired of looking for a job and really wanted to accept it. And had I taken that, I think I would have realized very quickly like how much they were undervaluing like what I was going to do for this company, or that company that I'm not working for. So yeah, like your skills are highly valued, and you should. Yeah, I mean, I just want you to know that.
Thank you. I do have to hop off,
Thanks,
but
Kit.
I did want to thank everybody so much for such a great 2 months, for being such an amazing team to work with. A big thank you to the mentors for always being there to help us and being so supportive, and our hype team and giving us such great feedback on how to improve our code. I just really appreciated this experience so much. And I'm really sad that I'm not going to see y'all next Saturday. So maybe we should just keep doing this. But yeah, I just really wanted to say that. But I do have to go. I'm sad.
Yeah.
Always
No.
down for a virtual happy hour. And if anyone ever finds themselves in Seattle, please say
Absolutely.
hello.
Yeah. Oh, and one
Same
last
for
thing.
Hawaii when
Go
we come to
Beavs.
Hawaii.
That's game day.
Game day. I gotta go.
Okay.
All right, enjoy
All
the
right, I'll
game,
see y'all
Mariah.
later.
Bye,
Thank
Mariah.
you. Bye.
Arnico, are you taking off too? If so, we'll talk to you later. Weston Knight, so I'm just reading your comment right now. Bye.
Bye, Aniqua.
Economy and tech sector being what they are right now, do you know if anyone is coming into Career Lab looking for potentialism? I don't know if anybody is. Do you, Yolanda?
Not that I'm aware of, because I think like Career Lab is just us, the mentors, Andrew and Stacy, just kind of helping the collabies that next step, using this past 8 weeks experience, polishing up your, LinkedIn resume, and then just kind of, it's not like a job fair, it's more of how to stand out. And then these are the tools and, you know, ideas of how you can stand out a little bit in this sea of other developers. So yeah, I just realized like, yeah, Career Lab does sound kind of like a job fair, but it's really not. It's just another collab lab. And then we're just meeting up again and just like, hey, this is, these are your mentors for, sprucing up your LinkedIn, or these are your mentor or, your opposite for, a technical interview. And I think there is a take-home assignment too. So it's just kind of mimic that real world of like, oh, if this is a take-home, this is your expectation, how to finish it. I'm not quite sure if, because I can see some of the layouts because I am part of the mentor for this time of Career Lab, and I can't remember if you all can see the it or not. So I'll have to ask and find out. But that's kind of that's all I know. Sorry, Weston. I don't think there's like potential employees. But just remember, all of us mentors are working. So you might start networking and then somebody said, hey, my company is looking for, X, Y, and Z. So, and you never know. But
I do think it's a very good networking opportunity though too, because with everybody I've worked for or worked with in Collab Lab or Career Lab, yeah, there was a lot of just like just more learning, more opportunities to learn from people and just talk to them. And even though I'm not working for any of those companies, it was just like good experience. Like I shadowed one company that a mentor was a part of or that works for, and just kind of like got to know what it looked, what a day-to-day looked like for one of their engineers, and different positions that were, if they weren't engineering positions, were kind of adjacent to engineering positions. So yeah, it's just I think a good opportunity overall just to see what the it's kind of like what interviewing is like, and what you might see during an interview.
yeah,
Awesome.
networking is key, definitely. So I'm going to end it here. I know two of our collabies had to hop off, and I know we're over by, a few minutes, but thank you y'all for staying and making it. You guys did it. So I hope that this experience was a good experience, and then and then tell everybody about the awesomeness of Collab Lab, and build not only skill sets but friendships as well. So before I stop the recording, any last message, statements?
Thank you
Say.
both. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you so
to
much.
Viet, Yolanda, Jen,
And
if you
Jen.
hear this. And of course, Andrew and Stacy. It's just been an incredible learning experience. I just feel like I've gotten more out of these 8 weeks than I have out of like my entire months-long boot camp in a lot of ways. So really just appreciate the sacrifice of your time and sharing of your knowledge.
Now, good job, everybody. You've all grown. Look at the video from week 1 and then compare it today. You'll see how much, you've all grown. So sorry, Weston, you were going to say something.
No, I just was seconding what Tina said. Just thank you.
Thank you all. All right. Goodbye, TCL-47 for now, and then we'll meet again in the future. Oh, hold on.